Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? So, I don't remember doing a reading for you before, so I'd like to explain real quick how this works. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. So try to describe the picture the best I can. They never waste a message. There is always a reason for whatever they show or say. So if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind. You'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, ah, I know what he's talking about. This is not an exact science. We communicate the best way we can. Sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. It's not, he won't give me all the details. Details are none of my business. So we're going to talk to Chris today. He's doing this knee slapping, laughing, just jovial, having a good time, lighthearted. He either wants to smoke or drink, or he did smoke or drink, or he liked to be around people that had that kind of energy, that kind of atmosphere, that kind of fun. He says he feels very special and very honored that you thought of him. You're a beautiful person. He says you're kind of exceptional. He says you are exceptional around the people you come in contact with. Did you have a vibration that people are just kind of attracted to? But he said he kind of did. He kind of did too. He just didn't know it. He says, but you do. Easygoing, lighthearted, like he was describing himself. You just want to put everything in its proper place. And I don't think he's talking about, and he could be talking about both, but I don't think he's talking about you being like OCD and you got to have every knife, fork, and spoon and can labels turned the right way in the cabinet. I don't think he could be, but I don't think he's talking about that. Every, you want to help everybody put everything in their life in proper place. You have I wouldn't even call it empath. You have a knowing, like, that person over there, they shouldn't be doing that or working there. They need to be over there doing that. And that's what would fulfill them much better than whatever they're doing right at this moment. And yet you can look at them and you can just see that. He says you don't get too pushy with it. He said it's a good thing to have, but it can also be a curse. And see, and I'm an empath too, and I can see those things, but I don't know if there's a word for it. Like I can sit over there and just watch somebody and go, it's not what you're supposed to be doing, and that's not where you're supposed to be at. So, I don't know when you're going to realize it, but I can see it. So that kind of, I don't know if there's a name for that, because I really wouldn't call that an empath. A little bit empathic. That kind of thing is, you have to be a little bit empathic, but it's not, he wants me to really describe it, because I guess he thinks you need to know. it's not like empaths. We feel their pain. We feel what they're going through. We almost can read their mind and know what kind of pain is in their head, and we want to fix it. This is more like you know what path they're supposed to be on. Like, you're not supposed to be working in that office. You should be working in that office. You know, that kind of thing. You just know they're doing the wrong thing just by observing. Yeah, like I said, I don't know that there's a name for that. And of course, sometimes I can't keep my mouth shut. Ha! Anybody that knows me would be laughing hysterically at that because I never keep my mouth shut. But sometimes I have to tell them, you'd really be happier if you were over there doing that. So he says you can help nudge them, but you can't push them. Oh, but we so want to. I can't figure out my own crap, but I can see somebody else's. So anyway, so we're kind of similar in that aspect. He says, no, I wouldn't call you a medium, not all that. Somehow you're supposed to use this, but not overuse it. If you maybe that makes more sense. He says, oh, hell no, I'm not mad at you. Absolutely not. He's got a big smile on his face. He says one of his signs to you is the tinkling of ice in a glass. Not a paper cup. Gotta be. So it doesn't, it doesn't matter where you're at. You could be walking through the store and you think you hear ice tinkling in a glass. That sound. I always ask them, come up with something unique. Everybody knows about coins and feathers and red birds. It needs to be something unique. And that's a first. And that's usually not very loud, so it's probably going to be something, probably. You never know. It's going to be something very slight. Or he's even saying that you could have something in a glass with ice sitting next to you, and maybe you don't even bump the table or anything, but it starts moving. The ice starts clinking or something. Even if you see like people on TV in a movie and they take their glasses and they toast, they click their glasses against each other and the ice moves in it. Still, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more signs if you want more signs. He said mailman's here. Dog. Oh, why is he honking? Maybe he left me a present. He says, you thought about making a change in your life. He's not saying for sure. Kind of feels like maybe job, career type thing. He says it really doesn't matter because whatever you choose, you're going to make it work for you. That it's like, it's not like you have to be in this job and you have to go down this path. It's like, if you choose this one, you're going to make it work. If you choose this one, you're going to make it work. And not in a hard way. It's just like it comes easy to you. And it doesn't, when I say job, it doesn't have to be like a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 paper paycheck job. It can be just something that you're doing, working towards. Said it'll just come to you easy, no matter which one you choose. It's no big deal. Okay, he's talking about the smell of popcorn, marshmallows, and it's either a campfire or a bonfire, which, similar. My friend makes a campfire into a bonfire. He's good at it. So, not sure. So any of those smells you could get at any time, but it's also, this is some kind of a memory, something. I don't know if you guys, you know, did a fire pit in the yard, went to bonfires, roasted marshmallows on the fire, went camping, but also the smell. He says the smell of the burnt marshmallow and popcorn. That's more that easy. That's easy for him to do. So you get those smells, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more if you want more. He he pops in and out. He pops in and out. He Again, he's very excited that you thought of him, that you think enough of him to want to do this. You guys kind of had an equal connection. He might have been evolved a little bit higher. He's not really saying what kind of connection or whether the hearts were involved or anything like that. He's keeping it light and airy. He says airy fairy. He's laughing. He's quite the jovial, carefree kind of jokester. And he says he still is. He's singing a song. Hang on, he's making me bounce. Let me see if I can find the song. I have to ask Alexa. Okay, now he's talking about an earthquake. And I don't think he's talking about a real earthquake. He's jumping up and down on the floor, just jumping up and down, jumping up and down. And it's like the dishes in the cabinet are rattling, like, because he's jumping so hard on the floor. I'm trying to think of what else. There's something rattling, something rattling. So I don't know if you're going to hear the sound of him jumping up and down, which he's showing jumping up and down really hard, and he's talking about an earthquake. Is there a drink you'd used, guys? One of you used to drink called an earthquake? Or maybe he used to shake things and say, it's an earthquake, get up, and laugh. When it wasn't really an earthquake, he was just shaking stuff. But anyway, he's jumping up and down a lot. That doesn't mean you're going to hear it like really hard, really loud. It just means he's making great effort to make this happen. He's jumping, and it's like there's dishes or, again, glasses or something there, and they're rattling in the cabinets or something because he's shaking the room. And he's having a great time doing it. I don't know that he's done it before, but now, since you've asked to talk to him, he's going to do a few of these things now that you brought him up. So to kind of, sort of, so to speak. He says life is a peach. Peach. Life is a peach. I have no idea what he means. Life is a peach, and you just roll around, and he's like taking this peach and it's rolling. You roll it around, roll it around, and then you don't anymore. And I think he's talking about that's when you leave. I've never heard anybody say it that way. So you might also watch a peach or fruit, at least brown fruit, something might fall off your kitchen cabinet. He might do all kinds of stuff now. He's feeling pretty ornery. Or you might be sitting there eating a peach. Or you might have just eaten a peach. He's glad to see you happy. He loved being around you. You guys, his energy kind of fed off each other because he was bubbly. That made you bubbly. Your bubbly made him bubbly. That kind of thing. I'm still not seeing a real connection, but that doesn't mean everything. Bubbly, bubbly. It's kind of like when he entered the room or entered the bar or restaurant or whatever. It was kind of like Norm on Cheers. Kind of like when he walked in, they go, "Hey, Norm." You know that? Everybody went, "Hey, Chris. How's it going, buddy?" He says, "Kind of sucks the way I had to leave, but it's okay." He says, "I found Mom and Grandma. Even if Mom's still here or Grandma's still here." He said he found Mom and Grandma when he left. I'm not sure what that means. He's not going into that. Okay. He's got me looking down at it. My eyes were drawn to something I wrote down here this morning about Medicare, and my eyes were drawn to my Social Security um, thing in my book. So, are you getting ready to retire? I don't know if he's trying to validate that he knows what the heck you're doing. And I promise you 1,000%, he can hear you, he can see you. You talk to him all you want to. Ask him to rattle the glasses for you or the ice or whatever. And then just sit back and see what happens. It may not happen instantly. It could. It's totally up to him. But anyway, he drew my eyes to those two things. So I'm thinking maybe you're getting ready to do that, getting close, thinking about it, planning for it, something. He says you'll be fine. You'll be fine. He says to get your butt out of the house. He says you need more fresh air. He says you need to go outside, breathe a little bit, go outside. Actually, he says, actually breathe. They remind me of this all the time because I forget to do it. We don't breathe deep enough. Our automatic shallow breathing is not really enough oxygen for all the little cells and blood things in our body that carry oxygen. We really need to breathe deep sometimes and shake them up a little bit, give them a little more life. He says, but outside's better. And I'm getting ready to go outside and walk here pretty soon. He says, I love you. You're a good person. Excuse me. You're a good person. You're a special person. And I don't feel like you really doubt that. Like some people, when they come through, these guys try to tell them because they're not confident enough. They don't love themselves enough. I don't think you have that problem. But he's just telling you, I love you. He called you Chatty Cathy. That was one of those dolls way back when I was a kid. You pulled the string and it talked. It was big invention back in my day. She was kind of annoying. I'm not saying you're annoying. I'm not saying he's saying you're annoying. I'm just saying the ones I was around, I don't even know if I had one, but the ones I was around, they were kind of annoying, but he's not calling you annoying. I promise. So I don't know if you talk a lot, or maybe he's telling you you need to talk more. Or maybe he called you Chatty Cathy. I don't know if he was old enough to know about that thing. He's wishing you the best. He's wishing your life to be perfect as you want it. And he's saying you're doing a pretty good job. It's flowing pretty free. Again, he says, I'm not mad at you. Not at all. No reason to be. And I will say, when we get up there, they've shown me that we get kind of peeled like an onion. They pull all the layers of any anger, regret, any of those heavy negative energies that we get attached to us down here, and they kind of peel that off of us and cleanse us. So they don't get angry, or it's all about love. Love is the highest vibration. It's all about love. So they don't hold a grudge. They're not mad. More than anything, they want to help. So whatever he was good at when he was here, I always tell people, if Uncle Joe didn't have a pot to piss in, don't ask Uncle Joe for financial advice, because he doesn't know how it works down here. Just because he's up there, I guess it doesn't make us all knowing. I asked my medium friend, I said, well, we've been here before because I believe in past lives. Shouldn't we know it all when we get there? She goes, yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. So, I don't know where I wandered off to with that. So, no. I lost my train of thought. I'm blonde. Well, not legally. No, I totally lost my train of thought. That's what happens. Oh, got it back. He nudged me. He says, you know where you were. So Uncle Joe didn't have a pot to piss in. So whatever he was good at here, and you need help with it, sorry, they make me itch. Their energy. So whatever he was good at here, and you need help with something along that line, ask him. Ask him to help you. Cannot override your free will choice. Cannot make you. But so you have to ask, and then you have to allow for whatever comes through if you want it. And you can always say no. I say no all the time. My guides get really mad at me. Stop it. We give you this good stuff. Stop it. Quit saying no. Somebody around you thinks they are holier than thou. That's what he says. He's puffing up. Big ego. Big ego. He says, don't let that big ego push on you. And he's talking about energetically. Don't let that energy push on you. Put up a wall. And putting up a wall, if somebody does something like that, I do it between people close to me all the time. Doesn't mean you don't talk to them. Doesn't mean you don't associate with them. Doesn't mean you don't love them. But you can block that push of something that you don't want. And it really works. He's riding. What the hell is he riding on? He's so lighthearted. He's riding on what looks like a dune buggy. Maybe not even a dune buggy. Maybe like a go-kart, but it looks bigger than a go-kart. It's got a big flag on it. And he's running it back and forth, back and forth. It's got a roll cage. So it's something along that line, something along the cage with, you know what I mean by cage, roll bar stuff. And He's racing it back and forth. So I don't know if you guys have one or he had one back in the day, or just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind if you don't have one. There's a reason for everything they show or say. They do not waste their energy. He's just skipping along. Happy as a lark. So even if you're like, sorry, gosh, I need to quit itching. Even if your life is going great, and everybody has a bad day or they get down a little bit or something, and you want some of that jovial, more up there energy, ask him to bring you some. Ask him to kind of pump you up a little bit. I think he'd be good at that. He's good at it right now. Okay, with that, with that, he's going to leave. When he leaves, I'll quit itching. So I can't tell what he's doing. Thought he was planting a seed or something. And are you planting a garden? But now it doesn't look like it. He's bent over and he's doing something on the ground. Then he looks like he's teeing up a golf ball. I don't know. Did he play golf? Do you play golf? Live by a golf course? I don't know. Yeah, but the person hitting somebody's hitting the ball, but it's not him. So I don't know if you have another loved one in heaven, like a dad or a grandpa or something used to like to play golf. Because this man's older than him. So I don't know why this man's showing it just all of a sudden as he's leaving. I thought it was him, bent over. Okay, so Chris is leaving. Much love to you, my dear. Thank you for allowing me to be his voice. He's quite uplifting. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Later.